You know, millions of folks have heard songs from the Beatles' first Parlophone album, Please Please Me, both in the UK and in the US, because almost all of the songs were published in the US on the VJ album introducing the Beatles. So, do you know the songs well enough to spot fake facts about the tracks? I'll present a factoid for each track. You'll have 5 seconds to decide if it's a fact or a fake. Ready? Track 7, Please Please Me. Fact or fake, the fast tempo version heard on records was George Martin's idea. This statement's a fact. John Lennon was highly influenced by 50s and early 60s American recording artists and was inspired to write Please Please Me reportedly after hearing Roy Orbison's Only the Lonely. The dual use of the word please is classic John Lennon writing, as he was fascinated with word sounds and the meanings when used in lyrics. That idea came to John Lennon when he heard a Bing Crosby song from 1932 called Please, that contained the line,
"Oh, please, lend your little ear to my plea."
John Lennon originally wrote the song as a slow bluesy lament in the style of Orbison, but George Martin talked him out of it after hearing earlier takes. Track 8, Love Me Do. Fact or fake? The chromatic harmonica used on this recording was one that John Lennon reportedly had stolen from a music store. This statement is a fact. In August of 1960, while on the road to their first gig in Hamburg, the guys passed through the town of Arnhem in the Netherlands, and Lennon lifted the harmonica from a music store there. Chromatic harmonicas are not inexpensive, as they differ from basic harmonicas by having a mechanical action on them to shift a note half step by way of pressing a button on the side of the instrument. As such, they also require a player to use both hands on it. P.S. I love you. Track 9, P.S. I Love You. Fact or fake? This was given to the Beatles by bandleader Alan Ernest Caldwell of Rory Storm and the Hurricanes in an attempt to trade it for the return of Ringo Starr to his group. This statement is fake. Paul McCartney wrote this song himself while in Germany in 1962. The recording for the album was also done with session drummer Andy White instead of Ringo. This came about because producer Ron Richards brought White into the session based upon George Martin's dissatisfaction with earlier auditions of the Beatles when they were using Pete Best on drums. Having booked Andy White before the session had started, Ron didn't know at the time that the Beatles had already fired Pete Best before the session and substituted Ringo in the group. Ringo was present in the studio, but was relegated to playing maracas on the song. 'Cause baby, it's you. Track 10, Baby It's You. Fact or fake? The music of this cover of the Shirelles recording was written by Burt Bacharach. This statement is a fact. Baby It's You was written in 1961 by Burt Bacharach, Luther Dixon, and Mac David. The girl group The Shirelles recorded it in November of '61, and it made number 3 on the American R&B chart. Although it was present on the Please Please Me album, the Beatles single wasn't released until 1995. Track 11, Do You Want to Know a Secret? Fact or fake? The only electric instrument on this recording is Paul McCartney's bass guitar. This statement is a fact. Both John Lennon and George Harrison played acoustic guitars on this recording. Also, although John didn't specifically write it to give to George Harrison, he has admitted that as soon as he finished writing it, he felt that it would be one well-suited to Harrison's singing voice. A Taste of Honey. Track 12, A Taste of Honey. Fact or fake? This song was a favorite of Paul McCartney. Bingo. This statement is a fact. This cover of an American show tune highlighted the versatility of the Beatles, and it was part of their live sets in 62 and 63. It proved to be popular enough with audiences to prompt requests at gigs. Track 13, There's a Place. Fact or fake? John Lennon collaborated by phone with Smokey Robinson on the basic lyrics and sound of this song before Paul helped John finish it. This statement's fake. Yeah. Although there is considerable evidence that Paul McCartney was more than peripherally involved with the writing of There's a Place, neither he nor John had any direct correspondence with Smokey Robinson about it. Also, unlike some other songs on the album, this one appears to have been written just before the February 11th recording date and had not been part of their live sets. Besides that, the song had a rocky recording session, too. The original design was to have George Harrison play the opening and pre-verse riff on the guitar, but several early takes were stopped because he couldn't get the timing correct. Although a successful attempt of the song just before lunch became take 10, they returned to it at 4:15 that afternoon, and John overdubbed with harmonica the correct timing and with heavy reverb. George Harrison's guitar solo riffs were effectively obliterated. Track 14, Twist and Shout. Fact or fake? The decision to record this song for the album was a last-minute decision. Shake it up. The statement is a fact. The decision to record Twist and Shout was made during a late evening tea break. After recording all day, John's voice was toast, but he agreed to do Twist and Shout to close out the day. Take one was great. And that's a lucky stroke, because when they tried take two at the request of George Martin, John's voice failed completely, even though it was a complete take. What you hear today is take one, raw, recorded live as an ensemble with no edits or overdubs. Well, how'd you do? As I said at the outset, I know that a lot of you probably knew every one of these and can add details, and please feel free to do so. This is a community and we learn together. I hope that you enjoyed this little trivia game, and if you did, please click on that like button and subscribe on YouTube or follow on Facebook. You can always comment on how you feel about a particular video, so please do that if you wish. And you can also use comments to suggest video subject matter for pop music and pop music culture from the 50s to the 70s. Also, don't forget that you can upgrade your subscription on YouTube and become a channel member, or upgrade your follower status on Facebook and subscribe to the Facebook page. Either one of these actions will give you early access to new content before the public sees it. Thanks again for watching.